Yeah. Yeah.
What's going on, guys? So let's talk about something. Let's talk about what do we want to talk about today? I'm just kidding. You already see the title. You know what I'm going to talk about. What is exactly playing a budget on Yu-Gi-Oh? Now, I feel like everybody has a different variation of what a budget is in this game. Some people will be like, oh, $120, that's a very budget deck. Somebody else is like, oh, $50, that's a very budget deck. Well, to me, I don't think a budget deck would be considered anything over $100. People have different terms, but like every time you see, there'll be other YouTubers, they'll talk about budget decks, or people in the comments, they're like, oh, you can play this and this, it's only $140 without the extra deck, it's budget. Or this deck's only $85 without the extra deck. From my personal experience, not always, because when you're playing a more budget deck, a lot of your cost is in the extra deck, because let's just do a really budget deck that is like really cheap for probably $30 to $40 for all its cards. Goes. The only more expensive thing in that deck would probably your like trap cards or anything like that. All the monster cards you get for probably, if you found them in your common box, free. If you found them in your fucking, buy them individually offline, 80 cents a card, dollars on a card, doesn't matter. It'd probably be better to try to buy like a deck starter from somebody on eBay, thin or whatever, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying. Anywho, your extra deck is what gets you, because it's a rank 4 spam deck pretty much, and you want to get all your expensive XCs. Now, granted, they're not as expensive now, but still, you want a 15 card deck. Also, you're going to be playing Instant Fusion, at least one of them anyways. And you're going to be spending a couple dollars per Xyz, maybe $10, depending a better Xyz, or even more than that, 15 or so. So that's a majority of your deck right there. So let's say that's like $30 for your extra deck, probably even more, and a $40 deck. That's already a $70 or $80 deck. And yes, granted, people could say, oh, you might already have these cards lying around or something, you might already have this deck. True, but what if you're buying it straight up? You don't have any cards, you sold off all your cards or whatever, it doesn't matter, you don't have a card, and you need to buy a deck. Any deck you buy is going to be expensive because of the extra deck. I feel like extra deck is such the majority of cost of decks these days, because most budget decks, individual cards are cheap, except, like I said, some trap cards, but even then, a lot of the trap cards are cheap now because they've been reprinted. So what's budget? A budget is a deck that, with the extra deck, is under $100. That is a budget deck for me, because like I said, there are decks that are, I'd say, mid-tier, a little above a budget deck, but you still have to pay extra deck, and that can bunch up cost. And it just bothers me because people like comment and be like, oh yeah, dude, you can build this. I'm like, yeah, well, if I build that deck right now, it's $100 without the extra deck, and I don't have the extra deck cards for it. So that's an extra, and one of the extra deck cards are $20, so that already bumps up to $120, and that's just for one of them. So any budget deck in my eyes is under $100 extra deck and all. And I hate when people also say, be like, oh yeah, your extra deck's only going to be like an extra like 15 or 20 bucks. You go online on a website, and now this was like old prices, so I haven't checked prices in a while, so don't quote me. It's like, okay, well I need one number 101 for my deck at least, and that's $9. So how is this extra deck going to be $15 when I have 14 more cards to go? It's just things like that I feel like people either don't price it right, or they think you can get individual cards really cheap, because that's not always the case. I mean, websites usually overcharge you for like really common cards, like a monster's like $1.10, when it should be like 25 cents. Not always, depends on websites, it depends what card and what archetype it is. But all in all, for just anybody who's listening, and for further videos, a budget deck should be anything under $100 in my eyes, with extra deck and all, card sleeves, everything. That is a budget deck, not card mat. Card mat's different, because not everybody, I mean, I'd say 95% of players use a play mat, but I mean, you don't have to have it, but card sleeves you do if you go to a tournament. So, comment down below what you think is considered a budget deck, everything and all. Like I said, I already told you what I thought, but your thoughts will probably differ. Everybody's does. Let me know down below. Oh, see you later.
Damn.